Sports Snap TV, and alongside me is Anthony Fresloni, my co-host. Today in Sports Snap TV, we're going to be covering the Boston University men's hockey team defeating the UMass Lowell hockey team, March Madness upsets, push for the playoffs in the NHL. First, Boston University men's hockey. Last night, Boston University had defeated UMass Lowell in the Hockey East Championships. Now, Anthony, you were watching the game very clearly and very carefully. You saw Jack Eichel, and this kid's got a bunch of talent. Tell me about him. What's his play like?
Well, Jack Eichel was definitely carrying the load along with that first line of Evan Rodriguez, Tim, and Daniel O'Regan. Yeah. And one thing that might upset it, the BU coach, was when Jack Eichel had that minute 50 shift in the second period. He's got to watch that.
He does take long shifts, and that could be a factor in his draft stock. So tell me, what do you think he's going to be drafted? Do you think he's going to go above McDavid? Because there's been some talk about who's going to go first. What do you think?
Well, I think if he keeps up his play, he could, but he's got to watch the changes.
Yeah, the shifts have to be shorter, 45 seconds at most. And so what do you think this means for BU? You think they can go all the way in the Frozen Four, or do you think this is good? Yeah.
Strong play from their first line, probably best line in the country.
Yep.
Matt O'Connor has shut the door.
Yeah, that beautiful save he had last night on the penalty kill, and that definitely saved them from lead. So 5-2 victory for Boston University. And who do you think are the teams that can be contenders with them in the league?
Minnesota, definitely.
Minnesota, yep. They beat Michigan State.
Michigan.
They Michigan State, but the game. Tell us about that game.
Well, it was 2-2, knotted up, and probably 7 minutes left in the third period. And then Minnesota scored the go-ahead goal, and then they just shut the door and won 3-2.
Yes.
And more about the BU game, that one thing that Minnesota has to watch out for is the aggressiveness from the BU defense.
Yes,
Matt Grzelcyk loves to jump on the play, and when he does, he can be dangerous during the offensive rush.
Yeah. So with BU, do you think the center of attention is around Jack Eichel right now? Do you think he's going to lead them, or do you think it's going to be from players like Danny O'Regan, Matt Grzelcyk, and Matt O'Connor that are going to step up and be leaders instead of this freshman?
It's definitely going to be a team effort, but Eichel's probably going to carry the load. But as you can say, not one man can win a hockey game for a team.
Definitely.
Great leadership skills from Grzelcyk. If O'Connor's playing good, they just have to force them to the outside and shoot. He makes easy saves.
Yeah.
And Jack Eichel, well, he's going to do his thing.
Yeah, definitely. So let's move on to our next topic, and it is March Madness upsets and the craziness around March Madness. So first of all, I had NC State winning against Villanova, which not a lot of people did. Did you have NC State?
I think I did.
You think you did? Yeah. What a game! Producing factors from point guard Trevor Lacey and Abdul Malik Abu, who was they were just amazing in that game. 71-68 was the final. And that was just an exciting game to watch.
Well, Villanova they had NC State on the ropes after they were just banging trays like a minute left in the game.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, it was close. Just won it by 3 points. There has been tons of games throughout the tournament so far that have been one-pointers. If you go through here and you look, North Carolina today won by 9 points. There was an OT game. Notre Dame beat Butler by 3 points. I mean, it's just been, very tight races, and you had Baylor losing in the first round. Did anyone predict that?
Probably not. But after all, it is March Madness, and anything can happen.
Yeah. So who do you think is going to go on? Do you think anyone can beat Kentucky? Because the talk around that is that they're just going to blow through everyone.
In some ways they will, in some ways they won't. Wisconsin and Notre Dame definitely will put up a challenge to them. But if Kentucky just keeps their mojo going, nobody's going to stop them.
Yes. And it's going to be really hard to predict throughout the rest of the tournament. You already have 5 seeds beating 4s.
Yes.
You have 8 seeds beating 1s. And so, we just have to stay tuned.
Watch out.
This is going to be an exciting tournament, an exciting finish. And it's just very exciting to see the young men who come through this program. All 4 years play for the college, and it's very exciting to see who wins every year.
Yes.
All right, next we have the NHL push for the playoffs. And I know we were very livid last night when the Boston Bruins lost to the Florida Panthers. Can you talk about the Bruins' decline and what needs to needs to happen throughout the rest of the only like 4 more games left?
So first we're going to start with wild cards, and we're gonna work our way from Eastern Conference to the Western Conference. And who do you think's gonna make it and all that?
You know,
Let's start off with the playoff push between the Senators, Bruins. Let's see here. Who's another team on the ropes? The Panthers.
yeah, definitely. It's and the Capitals.
Capitals,
It's
yes.
those four teams who have been just back and forth. And Ottawa won last night,
Yes.
5-3 against Toronto.
Yeah.
Contributing factors from Robin Lehner, Bobby Ryan.
It wasn't Lehner, it was Hamburger.
Was it really?
It was. Kyle Turris had a 2-goal game.
Kyle Turris. Yeah, Kyle Turris, and a great player. Everyone on that squad is perfect.
Erik Karlsson is definitely
Erik
leading.
Karlsson, the offensive defenseman out of
Yes.
Sweden. And then you have the Boston Bruins, who have been on a large decline lately
Yes.
after the trade deadline, thinking that pickup of players Max Talbot and Brett Connolly would help the team succeed throughout the playoffs.
Brett Connolly got, if you guys don't know, his finger.
Yep.
He had an injury in his finger.
Second practice was hit by a shot with his finger. He was out for 6 weeks.
And
David Krejci has been going through rehab as of late and has
Came
been
on the-
skating with the team.
coming on the road trip.
Came on the road trip for last swing of the year. And you can't lose to teams like Buffalo and Florida just easily like this. I mean, we have to start, we need that one game to get back on, and we just need to latch on for a
And the
playoff
Bruins
spot.
are getting very lucky because Winnipeg last night beat Washington 3-0 in regulation.
Yep.
And if they could have beat Florida, then they're tied.
It happens to teams sometimes. You come off of a great year, President's
Yes.
Trophy win. You had Jerome McGinley,
Yes.
a great goal scorer. Tuukka was the Vezina Trophy winner.
Yes.
Bergeron led that squad, and now you're fighting for a playoff spot. You're on the outside looking in. Can you talk to me about, or talk to the fans rather, the watchers, how this would affect the rest of the season, and how are they gonna fare if they make the playoffs?
Well, if they make the playoffs, somebody's gonna spark the attack with Brett Connolly coming back. Same with David Krejci, and they're gonna hopefully lead the team once Hamilton gets back. And we just have to have strong play through the rest of the season, hopefully getting at least first place wild card. And now we shift to the Central.
Yeah, so I'd like to hear your perspective on who is going to win the Stanley Cup. I want to hear your laydown of the semifinals and the finals. What's going to happen? What's the score going to be?
Okay.
Are there going to be any,
So Stanley Cup. Let's see here. There's strong play in the Central, the hardest division in the NHL to get a playoff spot. They have 7 very strong teams. Top 3 is Predators, Chicago, and let's start off with them first. They are 2 extremely strong teams. They're pretty much impossible to beat at home. 2 strong goaltenders, great forward lines, and I'd like to see them in a conference final. That'd be nice to see.
Yeah, I think the Rangers of the East, the beast of the East this year, have been just dominating with a driving force from all of their players. Everyone is a contributing
Great
factor.
play from Cam Talbot.
Yeah, Cam Talbot has stepped in as Lundqvist went down and has just been a real leader, and he can be he showed that he can be an elite goaltender in this league.
He can.
All right, so that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Sports Snap. Stay tuned. Each week we'll have a new episode for you, and thank you.